Hello, hello. Welcome back to NSG Fall 2024. This event, we're running money for the Norwegian Association of the Blind and Partially Sighted. You can donate with the links below the stream. We would also like to shout out BSG and UKSG for their continued support. Now it's time for Phoenix running Spirit of the North. Good luck and take it away.
Hello, I'm RisingPhoenix, and today I'm presenting you Spirit of the North, 28 Shamans. In the commentary we have Jude Sock and Ludwig van Cooper.
Hello.
Hello.
So, and one thing before the run, there was a bid war. How did this one end?
There was indeed. We were choosing the Fox to play with, and right now I'm proud to announce that they are no longer tied at 69. Red Fox is winning with 138 crowns.
That's the standard Fox.
Thank you very much to all of you who donated to this bid war. And we do you want to hear the donation that that made the red one win? I'll take that as yes.
Yeah.
And that's 69 crowns from Fox, asking what does the Fox say? Thank you very much.
You will hear it often enough. So the run starts on the first import, not after this one, but after a cutscene plays. So I guess I'm just starting the cutscene before, we have time to talk about things in the run. It's 1 hour and it's a pretty chill one as well. So yeah.
All right, so let's try to explain a little bit of what this game is about. This is basically a, I would say, like kind of environmental adventure. Like you are playing, obviously, as a fox.
It's not. It's time. Like the start is out. The run starts on the first input after this cutscene.
Phoenix, you have the foot pedal on your phone.
Yeah,
you just press the foot pedal when you start.
Yeah, I will do.
Yeah, it's very environmental. It's like in a snowy region. We're like actually going to see the northern lights in the end.
At least that's the goal. Let's see if we can achieve that.
Yeah.
So basically what happened here is like you're seeing this red stuff in the background. That is pretty much, I would say, kind of a mark of death or whatever. These foxes here, they actually descended.
Okay, should I quickly start the run?
Yes.
Does one of you count down?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, go!
So yeah, this is Spirit of the North, 28 Shamans. What a shaman is, you will see pretty soon. The gimmick of this game is like it's a puzzle game, or like an adventure puzzle game. And over the course of the run, I'm unlocking new spells. So far I can just jump and move forward. I can't even sprint or dash or something like this. But yeah, overall, in the later the run gets, the faster pace it gets.
Yeah, so at the beginning here, we don't really have much of movement options, but just jumping, because it is slightly faster than just walking. We are getting some more movement options as the game progresses. As a fact, we will get the dash pretty soon in Chapter 1 already.
It's actually the sprint. The dash is actually the last one of them.
I was about to say, the dash is pretty late. Like
oh no, I mean the run then, sorry.
Yeah.
the sprint, basically. So that will be pretty much our main option then for the majority of the run until we get the dash.
I mean, one thing we should say, like, before this game was like broken down into everything it has, like the all shamans / 28 shamans, it's basically all shamans, or like 100. We could say it's technically 100% of the game.
It's the 100%.
And yeah, it's a little bit nowadays. It's like just only a little bit longer than the any % one. Yeah, this is a shaman staff. I will just straight away say it. We're doing teleportations. We're doing glitches with these. You're not supposed to reuse them. We are gonna reuse them.
So this is the shaman. If I put one of these staffs close to one of these skeletons, that like a small talisman is just gives a light, then that will activate, and on the bottom right corner you will see like this interface every time, where every shaman will like stand up. And I just have to complete all 8 chapters while getting all shamans.
Yeah, okay. I mean, in the 7 and the last 2 chapters, there are actually no shamans, so we have the shamans already by chapter 6. There will be a few chapters. I think, what was it? Chapter 1 only has 2 shamans, if I remember correctly.
Chapter 1 has 3, chapter 2 has 2, chapter 3 has 3.
Oh yeah, by the way, we are out of bounds
7.
right now.
Yeah, while you was talking, I quickly jumped out of bounds because in the beginning you awaken the Guardian of the North, a spirit fox, which you will see in about 5 minutes. But yeah, it's a long way. There are a lot of cutscenes. All of this, we just skip all of them. There are also no shamans down there for now. So yeah, we can just do this.
I think you didn't answer the question with what does the fox say?
Answer. Question answered.
I mean, we will hear the barking more often.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, so we have different options on this fox. We can let him bark, and we can let him tail wiggle, and both of these mechanics are intended to like activate some puzzle elements like later. But we can also use them in some other ways that are definitely not intended by the developers, and that is something you will see very soon, and that will completely break the game up. So,
Which was, by the way, found on accident twice. But we will.
was
talk
it
about
2 or
this.
3 stages how we found it out?
Actually, it was the same stage, but on 2 different locations.
No, I mean like 3 stages of how we found how the glitch works.
No, it was-
You will see it shortly. When we get to the next staff, you will see what we are talking about. Because, like I said, we are technically, it's not really duplication. Technically, we're just teleporting the staff we have used like 2 minutes ago. We're just teleporting the staff. And you can clearly see it. You see, the staff is still there. There's no orb on the staff. This is the staff. Also, by the way, Phoenix just activated the second shaman from here. Yeah. Funny story. We were in a voice chat. Phoenix only thought, you need like to be like in a vertical or horizontal line with the shaman to activate it when you have like the glitched state of a staff. Funny enough, he did like one trick by accident wrong, dropped the staff, and that activated a random shaman. And we're like, how far can we push this? And funny enough, it was like my idea with, maybe the thing is just global. It's not global, it's like, it has to be in a loading distance. Where right now we're sliding down the ice. It is actually faster to just stay on the ice, except if you like go onto the snow and jump, then you get a speed conversion and get like a lot of airtime out of it.
Yeah, like it's not very close timing-wise, but the better frame you get it, the more speed you just get it. Or like you got. For example, I got it pretty well there. Because of that, I got a lot of speed, like here as well. That's probably the furthest jump I've ever done on this slide. So yeah, another thing is every cutscene you see is actually not not a film, or like it's a film sequence, but the game runs in the background. So I can activate shamans while cutscenes are playing, which we will see like at the end of the chapter. It's one of the few times we will do this.
And we actually also found the Japanese the Japanese community managed to find ways to actually skip cutscenes, and I think it included photo mode, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but for
I think it's funny how photo mode is breaking so many games. Like, developers integrate photo mode for like, oh yeah, you can do like cute pictures and stuff. Yeah, and they often break the game. Or like they're like a second version of pause buffering as well. I think like Mario Odyssey, for example, uses it in trick jumping. They use the photo mode for pause buffering, because it's faster than the regular pausing.
Yeah, we will skip one cutscene pretty late at the game with this. If I get it, it's pretty tight time-wise. and I'm not so consistent at it yet, and we will see.
Also, you might have missed it, but like 2 minutes ago, there was like an ice barrier that we had to like skip with a little jump over it. Usually, if you activate the second shaman, I guess, the normal way, like without the glitched stuff, he would aid you to like destroy that ice wall so he can just go through. But since we never activated him that way, we had to get past that ourselves.
Oh, by the way, just heard a whoosh sound. We just activated the third shaman.
This whoosh sound is like my audio cue to know if I get like this glitch
Yeah.
stuff. that activated a shaman. In later chapters, I will use like the same stuff sometimes 3 times. So I actually have to count all of them. Another thing on the bottom right corner, you see like this interface popping up. It takes a while until it pops up. If I get a shaman and then go into a loading zone, like for example the transition from chapter 1 to 2 right now, and I activated the shaman, but the interface wasn't there yet. The shaman doesn't count, which also killed runs before.
Yeah, we found that out the hard way from, I think it was when we did went to chapter 6, I think, when we tried out the tactics, when we found out where you can like overlap the shaman cutscene with the opening door cutscene. I think it was something like that, and we found out the hard way that if you go in too quickly into a loading zone, it just doesn't count.
Yeah, it actually killed like one of my best runs at that point with like an earlier route, but then the Japanese community started playing this game and they broke it.
So now we are in chapter 2, and you might be wondering, why are we walking so slowly? So in the previous cutscene, what just basically happened is that our fox that we control, he got like sick of this disease that spread all over this world. Like there is a fungus disease that pretty much wiped out mankind in this area. And we are trying to cure that disease. This is pretty much the goal of the game. And our fox tried its best, but he got also like infected by it and got like sick and laid down. And this little spirit fox that you see, it's pretty much the spirit fox. Or this one, he tried to help us, but he tried to help us a little too hard. So he used like his powers, which actually like healed us first, but then it like also broke the floor under us, and we fell like 2,000 feet. So now you saw him like laying there. He's like seriously injured right now.
Yeah, I also can't sprint, I can't jump. This is the only chapter which we weren't able to break so far, because we simply don't have any movement. If someone finds an out of bounds clip in this area or a way to get our powers back, please.
Yeah. Also one thing we have to note is the first staff in every chapter you're not able to glitch, because we are always glitching like the first use staff afterwards.
So this chapter is really good to see like the normal stuff. The normal stuff has like this blue crystal on the left side from like how I'm holding it, and just looks like a regular stick. If I have the glitched version, the flame isn't there, and the stuff has like some like black lines going over it. That way I can also see like if the stuff is glitched or it's a normal one and I have to do a backup. By the way, this is the perfect time for donations if there's something, because this is like a 7-minute auto-scroller.
I just wanted to use this opportunity to mention that we obviously closed the Roller Coaster Tycoon Bid Wars, but we've also just opened a brand new Bid War, and that's for Yoshi's Story, and you can pick our Yoshi's color, and all of the options are at 0 right now because we just started, but the options are blue, green, pink, and red. So if you have any preference towards what color our Yoshi should be for the Yoshi's Story run happening by Green Snowdog in about 8 hours roughly, then make sure to donate and choose that as your incentive of choice. Again, that's the color for Yoshi, and the options are blue, green, pink, and red. Thank you.
So as I said before, this is like a really long auto-scroller, and coming up after this chapter are like the 3 hardest chapters in a row. So this game as a speedrun game isn't the greatest because chapter 1 is fairly easy. This one is like, I'm just holding W for the entire time. And then I have like instantly hard tricks, which if I fail them too often, I will reset and have to do this entire thing again.
Wait, Chuck, question, can you not glitch this stuff or did you just mess up?
I only got it twice so far glitched on
Okay.
accident. It's actually not even faster to glitch this one because for the next cutscene, I'm doing like a small glitch we found on accident again. Like there's like a small island coming up in like half a minute. There's like a little bit of water before. And normally the fox is going like on the island and then collapses. If I bark and tail wag the entire time while I'm being in the water, while going a little bit to the left, the fox lays down earlier and I'm earlier having my movement back after the cutscene. So it doesn't really bring anything because the way I'm grabbing them and putting them down is with one of my mouse buttons, but it's also the same button I'm using for barking. And if I have to bark, it will just put down the stuff, or it just takes longer to fall down. So it actually doesn't save time if I get a glitched version here. So yeah, this chapter is very long and very boring. I mean, it is a good time to get something to drink.
Yeah, I guess this is now the holy grail of time saves. So somebody found a way to like not lose his movement in the first place, maybe, or... Oh, by the way, now the fox actually died from his injuries. And there is also a way, I think you also got it, like usually you have to get a little bit closer to the end of this cave.
Like basically to this island where the fox actually lays and not where he fell down.
Yes, you have to get onto the island, but you actually can skip a little bit of the way and die a little bit faster, so to say. Saves a couple seconds.
I think it saves like 2 to 5 seconds, depending how clean you get out of the water again, because I'm spawning where I lay down, and the faster I'm getting out of the water, the faster I can get, because in the water I cannot sprint. Like in the water I'm just having my normal movement speed, and obviously that's slow.
Yeah, right. And now, since our companion don't want to see us dying, he is actually transferring his powers onto us now. And that enables us to like activate some of these puzzle elements later and give us like the flowers that give us power to do stuff, which we will explain later when we encounter them.
For example, right now. So yeah, this is like a stone where I just have to have this power and tail wag to activate them. We will use them a couple of times, sometimes on accident, or like one time on accident actually, because of another glitch, because of this shaman glitch, which we are using the entire time. And like another one is like a measuring stone, but these are coming like in chapter 5 first.
Was this the spot that got fixed by the developers, or was that another wall?
A little bit later, but this chapter is the reason why we have different leaderboards for the versions. We have a 1.05, or like a pre-1.05 and 1.05 plus version. And I will show the reasons when we are here, or like when we are there, which might take like a few minutes. Else, like, for running this game on like a high graphic, you actually have to have a pretty good computer. I'm very happy that these computers are pretty good, and I don't have to run like on the settings I'm running at home, because this way the game actually looks good.
Yeah, by the way, you're seeing skips here all over the place. Like, you are supposed to actually solve riddles here with these stones that you activate, that are opening other pathways or whatever. But most of the time we are just jumping from elevated spots and reaching certain areas in an unintended way.
Yeah, short question. I remember you had like one clip where you got yeeted up here by the stones. Was that
Yeah.
actually a time save?
No, because I have to grab this stuff. In any person, that would be a time save if I just got yeeted up. It's like a weird thing with momentum. We don't understand it yet completely and how to replicate it because these ones are actually random how they fall down. This is like the only RNG part in this run. And I have like a clip of getting yeeted up from them somehow. I don't know, for all shamans it doesn't save time because I have to do one shaman the normal way and this is the fastest one.
So just to explain what these shamans even are, like in the lore it says that once like the mankind that lived here, or the people that lived here, they saw like these foxes as like godlike entities, like as the northern lights or whatever. And the shamans that we are trying to save now, or like waking up, so to say, they were like the spiritual connection to these foxes. So they, by releasing all of them, they should help us restore this world to its former beauty, pretty much, or like cure them from the disease.
The jump that I just did, we call it a wall jump. It's actually very tight. I got it twice actually, but just mistimed the last jump input to get up and fell down, which was kind of sad, but yeah. My estimate, by the way, is pretty generous, so there's a very high chance that I will actually help to get the schedule back on track.
I mean, if you manage to get like, how far are we behind? Like an hour? If you manage to save an hour, it would be insane. But yeah, we're already past that. But yeah,
maybe like 10 minutes.
When like we first, before we like really discovered how the glitch works.
Quick thing, this stone in an earlier version was here, and then we could just go on the stone and jump up. We can't do this anymore. But another runner found a way. There's a small invisible wall here, which we can jump on. Sometimes there's like a bug that you cannot jump from this, and we can just jump up here.
Okay, was that part? Yeah. Before like the glitch staff like was like fully understood it. The game was like barely sub-hour, if I remember correctly.
Actually, was like a like the world record at that time before we found this bug was, I think my time was like a 101.
Yeah. Now like what are we on, like 42 minutes?
Yeah,
now?
42 minutes. Which is crazy to think about. Like this game went from, when I started speedrunning it, from can we even skip something to what can we not skip? Like we have so many different tricks and skips with skipping cutscenes. We're
skipping
cutscenes.
We're skipping technically a whole chapter from being loaded properly.
Yeah, this is the one after this.
Yeah.
For that chapter I have to like focus a little bit more. So my co-commentators will do more commentary.
I don't know if Tech could like do it on a fly, like maybe disable the commentary for him to...
No, that's fine. It's just like I need to like focus a little bit. So you might think that, okay, but like if the stones are like fixed, like you can get up there basically at the same time, why is there then still a vision differences? And this is because of this part. I'm playing on the newest version, so I have to do this. Activate this stone and then do like a few other things. In an earlier version, you just go to the end because there's a hole and you can jump into it. But one of the fixes is if the fox is like close to like this fungus infection, he cannot jump anymore. And they also put like a few stones to deny us from skipping it. So this part here is actually the main reason why we have a version difference. But on the other hand, the newer versions don't have stamina. So especially in chapter 5 or like 4 or 5, I can just sprint through them instead of just slowing down a couple of times.
So you saw like a little lake part there and a little river part earlier. We will see more water throughout this run. And water is the only surface or the only element that you really want to avoid in a speed run, because Swimming is by far the slowest and the most tedious part in this game, and you want to spend as little time in water as possible. And the speedrun route does a great job of achieving that, if done correctly.
So yeah, like, as I said, in the earlier version you don't have to do all of this. You can just have the movement I have just right now and just go to the end. But also like, the stunts that they added even forces me to go back here. I've looked like a couple of hours into finding a skip for this, but sadly without any but sadly I didn't find anything yet.
Yeah, these little flowers that you just saw, they are pretty much the source of our power, and we have to, like, once we used our power once, we lose it until we replenish our power at these flowers.
Okay, so coming up is the most punishing chapter. Chapter 4 and the 2 chapter 5 is brutally hard, especially like after an out of bounds jump. So yeah, you two take it over from here, like for this chapter at least. By the way, this is a very good time to explain the shaman glitch, because you will see it quite often in this chapter.
Yeah. The first, like I said earlier, the first half, it's impossible to do that because this one you cannot glitch, so you have to be precise with the pickup actually, which you can still like. Can you like also skip a little bit of the animation with picking up?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
putting down. Like you saw me picking the stuff up and then start tail wagging. This cancels the animation and makes this glitch even possible. For example, here, putting a come on. The first one is actually the hardest one to grab.
Yeah, so it's basically an animation
There we go.
cancel by doing this tail wiggle, and what it actually does is that it doesn't really duplicate the stuff. The stuff that you're supposed to have in your mouth, then it just stays on the ground, and the stuff that the fox then actually gets in his mouth is the previous stuff or the first stuff in the chapter that we used. That should not be reusable, but for some reason it is.
Yeah, that is also
I
why
was
the
checking.
crystal is gone, because the crystal you see right now, the crystal is used to wake up the shaman. And yeah, you see shaman is waking up right now. We hear the witch sound, so Phoenix knows, okay, the shaman is up now. And when he gets to the next stuff, you will see the thing flying.
Yeah, this is actually a very important to distinguish here. We do not duplicate the stuff. We also do not really teleport the stuff instantly to us. The stuff actually travels all the way from its original spot all the way to the fox's mouth in like a very high speed. But it doesn't get instant teleported to us, and that's actually very important to understand because we will actually abuse that feature later even more.
Yeah, and then
when
there's
we
also
get a certain ability.
Then there's also the fact that the range is big, but it's not global. Like you cannot just put the staff down here and like activate them all. He actually has to be like in an approximate area. I do not know how big the area is actually.
I think no one really knows that.
Yeah, but it's still a pretty big area. You can place it down, but like chapter 4, like where we're going to right now, he's also like going over an invisible wall real quick, which is a little bit more focusing. Yeah.
Okay, nice. It should work. Nice. Okay, I didn't soft lock myself.
First
This is a very scary jump here because you can actually soft lock yourself if you fall into that little pit, because that is something that you're not supposed to be into until you like activate some pathway before that.
I can actually soft lock myself there in 2 different ways. If I'm too far to the left, I'm soft locking because I'm like going down to the section. I could technically save it, but I don't have my power for later. And if I'm too far to the right, I'm having like an infinite fall and have to restart the chapter. So that I got the perfect jump there is so nice.
Yeah, and usually there's supposed to be like a crumbled castle. You see floating stones, and they're not supposed to be floating. There's supposed to be like a rubble of a castle Oh. Yeah, now he has to be a little bit precise. Yeah, and you just saw it, that it just teleported back into his mouth.
And now we just activated
Okay,
two
nice.
shamans very remotely, like which are really far away at this at pretty much the same time. Or even 3, if I heard that correctly, right?
Yeah, it's 3, and now I'm going to chapter 5, because chapter 4 and 5 are actually the only 2 chapters which are not connected through a loading zone. And I'm activating the last shaman in chapter 4 in chapter 5.
I think like before, like the very big discovery of the glitch staff was like found out. You could still you actually had to do a reload in chapter 4, which was interesting.
But now we reload chapter 5
Yeah.
instead of 4.
And because chapter 4 is still loaded, because we're still missing a shaman from chapter 4, or is it a shaman from chapter 5 now?
Both. The next stuff is for the first one in chapter 5, and then I'm doing it again on this stuff to activate the last one in chapter 4.
Yeah, and if it is done correctly, you see it is so fast you don't even see it flying. But now you see whoop in his mouth.
Okay, nice. This was probably the hardest part in the run.
Nice.
There's like one very scary jump coming up later, which if I fail it loses like 5 minutes, but this was by far the hardest thing. Like, this is the most punishing thing, because if I would have messed up here once, I would have, for example, on this stuff, I would have needed to like reload the last part in chapter 4, reload the first, like the beginning of chapter 5, and have to do like the staff glitch here again, and then the chapter is actually loaded, because as you can see, there's no wall. Normally, you have to do this to get over a wall to a lake.
Yeah, there's supposed to be water here.
As you can see, there's a river coming down there into nothing, which is really looks really strange. It's because this entire area that we just walked through with these jumping portals, that's supposed to be a very big lake. And as I said before, we don't want to swim through this lake. I guess you couldn't even do it if you played this casually, just skipping everything.
Yeah, come on.
Instead, we just decided to just not load the water at all and just run through it.
Yeah, I would say just for that, shout outs to the Japanese community for finding all of these major skips. Like they cut like when Phoenix had like the first good run with the all shamans and like the glitch staff and everything, the Japanese community went out and I think cut like another 10 minutes.
Yeah, like my best run before like the Japanese community decided to completely break the game was like a 53. Then the run got to RTA Japan, and from there the Japanese community started playing. And if you know the Japanese community in speedrunning, you know if they start speedrunning a game, the game is getting absolutely broken. So yeah, they cut it down. They cut down another 10 minutes just for routing and better movement.
And we want to remind you, this is supposed to be a puzzle game, right? So far we skipped so much of the game, we did half a puzzle at best. And it's not gonna get better.
Yeah, now we also have like the final ability, which is the dash, but that one needs a recharge. And,
I'm gonna attempt this.
Okay, he's doing...
Yeah.
Damn.
I want to do
What Phoenix is trying is there's like another momentum thingy.
Yeah,
You
totally.
see he goes upwards, but he wants to go forwards. Which is...
There we go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, nice.
That is, by the way, a much easier strat, but I just wanted to show it off. Found by one of the Japanese runners. Sadly, I don't know who of the Japanese community did what, because they probably have like an own Discord server for this, or like an own server. But yeah, this jump is pretty tight for frame-wise, because if I am, like, you see this spirit coming out. This is like a spell I get in chapter 4, actually, this one. And yeah, I can use this for these portals. If the spirit is going away the frame, or like 2 frames, to like go back to the fox. They actually switch positions, which teleports me into the into the speed boost. There.
Yeah, and you can also drop if I remember correctly, you can also drop the staff by just going into the spirit mode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he did earlier. Now we have another bigger skip.
I searched for this for hours just to see the Japanese community do this in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, and now we just skipped a puzzle.
Yeah, that was like a very, very fancy wall ride there. And again, something where you're just wondering what the developers were thinking with this, because they actually put in the effort to try to prevent going around it. But there's still like a small visible wall at the edge there that you can't just walk.
Yeah, and this jump is also pretty precise. We are on the wall still. We're still on the invisible wall.
I think that's the softlock spot.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
that's the softlock spot. That happens sometimes. Don't know how I go around this in the perfect way, but this just happens. But well, as I said, my estimate is pretty generous because these mistakes can... Actually, it worked. Wait.
Oh my.
I
You actually hit the checkpoint.
And I'm honest, I don't know how.
Okay, wow.
I normally, like in the bottom right corner, you see like this chapter saving progress, for example here. You see like this chapter saving progress. I didn't saw this. So I thought I was actually at a checkpoint further back, but I guess I can know this for future runs. I don't actually have to go all the way down there.
And that is why we love on-site events, because it's a perfect spot to discover new stuff in speed games.
This is the typical I've never seen that before moment.
That never happened.
Yeah, but this time it actually worked in our favor, so it's really great.
So with this glitched stuff, I actually, every time I reload, I have to do one stuff the normal way to get like a glitched version. I'm doing this with this one, not the shaman before. There was actually a shaman before in the part after the reload. Yeah, this one is just faster. If I get the clamp up. There we go.
It looks so goofy how it's just like sideways almost on this point.
Yeah, by the way, this movement in this game, it's pretty easy but very clunky. So it actually feels sometimes really weird to do some things. So now I want to do the trick that I just showed you. Okay, I hit the ceiling. Like the world record run actually does the trick which I showed you before. And like the portal, with this portal right here, instantly is on the top and can skip all of this. Which saves probably like 10 to 20 seconds. But it's, as I said before, very tight time-wise.
So please correct me if I'm wrong here, because I've not played this game myself again. But like how this dash actually works is that if you activate the dash, you pretty much leave your body and you are like this spirit for like 2 seconds or whatever, and then your body follows you to where you are at your new position.
For this teleport thing, I should need to do this, but it worked. No, you just swap the positions. Like if I hit the portal at the correct time, the game is just confused. Because it's just confused and it changes the position from like the spirit fox and the fox I'm playing, and that's like how it works.
Yeah. Also, this black goop, it's like water. But it's not as bad. It just slows us down again. Like this corner jump also used to be like a lot harder.
It's a lot harder on my PC because I have very high lag on this jump, and if I fail it, it's like 5 minutes time loss, so basically a run killer.
Yeah, so this area is pretty much the worst you can lose time on, like, or one of the worst at least, because... is it just the upcoming part where there's a lot of water?
No,
like,
actually it's this one right here. Like
yeah,
this is the most punishing part.
So this is supposed to be a huge water puzzle where you have to do a lot of swimming. And if you fall down in this crevice, You actually, I guess, you have to complete the riddle, or you have to reload the chapter. I don't know.
Yeah, both works. But the thing is, there's like no way to get up there from like the bottom floor, which I never had, to get up there again. So either I actually have to do the riddle, which is super slow because, well, water movement, or not. By the way, what I'm doing here is I'm doing the shaman glitch, which I'm just doing with like, I'm grabbing the staff, canceling the animation, then the staff would fly to me, and with going into the spirit mode, I cancel that the staff is even flying to me. So that's why you didn't even saw stuff there, even though I just activated 2 shamans.
The just gets dropped, and he just activated 2 more shamans. Exactly.
And that's actually the last 2 shamans in this chapter.
Oh yeah, right. The next chapter only has 2 more. No, wait, it
4.
has 4. Wait,
4.
I'm stupid. Yeah, right.
The next chapter has one of the most interesting cutscene skips. This last shaman actually normally plays a cutscene if he is triggered, but probably because we are not in the region. Oh wait. Okay, press the button on exit. It just didn't activate yet. Another thing is the dash, such like just doing the dash and going into the spirit mode and stuff like that requires to have like these marks from like the spirit flowers. So it's actually quite important that I have like a good control over it, where to use my power, when to when. For example, I got a flower at the beginning of chapter 4 to use it at the beginning of chapter 5.
And
That's
by the
chapter
way,
5 done.
By the way, the reason why this fox looks like it's half red, half black now is because we walked a lot through this mud stuff. And when you're walking through that, you just look dirty for the rest of the chapter, I guess, because now we are clean again.
Nice, okay, I had a flaw there. Like with this AoE spell, which I actually only used 3 times on this entire run, but this was the last time I'm using it. I can kill like these disinfection blobs. And there's like one in here. Normally you're supposed to go like in here with the spirit, but it's slow to get like go in the spirit mode, do this, and then go back to the flowers without the dash.
Could I hop in with a quick message?
Yeah, sure.
Right, I just wanted to mention that whenever you donate to NSG Fall 2024, all of your money goes to the Norwegian Association of the Blind and Partially Sighted. But along that, you might be eligible to win some of our prizes, and I just wanted to talk about these for a while. Even if you just donate 50 crowns, you have a chance of winning a Steam key for Tanuki Sunset. 100 can get you a Pokemon Amigurumi. 150 can get you handmade socks, and finally 200 Norwegian crowns might make you eligible, might make you win either an NSG sweater or a hand knitted sweater. So get your donations in. Make sure to pick an incentive while doing so, and remember that you're all eligible for prizes if you donate above a certain threshold. Thank you so much, and keep them coming.
That's the perfect time because here is the most insane glitch. I'm going into spirit mode, go out, and I failed. Okay, if I would have gone a little bit earlier back into like from the spirit mode and the fox mode, on one is like a photo mode, and with the photo mode I could interrupt this cutscene. As I said, I'm not very consistent at it yet because I don't know the timing perfectly. But yeah, this time I was just a little bit late on being the spirit fox.
So it looks like we only have 1 shaman to go.
Yeah. And this is this stuff right here. I don't want this stone to activate because it triggers a cutscene, which I don't need. My path is already open. So yeah, then I'm just putting the stuff down. This activates the last shaman.
I think it's so cute when he just drops his staff. Like, yeah, I don't want to play with it anymore.
Yeah, it's like just having a dog who has like a stick and just decides, nah, I don't want it anymore, and just drops it while going. It's like the same mentality. That's like the last. That's actually the second last skip in this entire run. So now I'm going very close to the infection, as you can see, like to the main point of the infection. and this leads to that I cannot sprint anymore, and after like this corner I can also not jump anymore. We're at least a little bit faster.
But luckily we can still dash.
Yeah. And now, funny thing, normally, if I'm hitting like this point over there where it's got black, the fox drops down and I'm playing the spirit, as you have seen there. But the trigger is just have the spirit at the end. So I can go early in the spirit mode, activate the trigger, and as you can see, there's a fox. Well, there should have been.
Yeah.
But at least you hear him.
Yeah, at least we hear the cutscene. Yeah, true.
One time
true.
I was like probably frame perfect on this cutscene skill, or like on this cutscene trigger, and the cutscene actually played with my normal fox instead of the spirit fox.
Yeah, we're now in a spirit world. We're actually going out of bounds in the first half of the spirit mode to skip a gate. Funny enough, it is actually faster to do the second part intended.
Yeah, I still don't know how. It's just
Like
faster.
we went. Phoenix went like out of bounds all the time for the second part. Like it's just a little bit out of bounds and like going back. We have to do like a little circle here. This is the exit, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, this is the exit.
This is the exit where we're going out of again. And that we just go back to the beginning, and then chapter 8 is like a 45 seconds.
30 seconds actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a very short
So
chapter.
now I'm opening the door at the end. Normally there are 2 doors at the end, but one isn't loaded yet. And because I'm hitting the game now thinks I hit the second door. And because I hit the second door, the first door should have been open. So if I go at the end, there are 2 doors and both of them are open.
And I guess now we're going out of bounds again.
Yeah, we already are.
So yeah, we already are out of bounds, and I think this is the hardest out of bounds in terms of navigation, because in the spirit world, like everything kind of looks the same, and the colors are kind of weird, and it's a little bit harder to orient yourself. So I guess you have some kind of visual cue to know where to go here.
Yeah, I do have visual cues like 2 tree stumps. On the first one, I'm going around like on the left side, the second one on the right side, and basically just go up the entire time. Then I have these trees with like, which is a visual cue because there's actually one stone where I can clip inbounds again. Conveniently, pretty much at the trigger which activates the ending, because the ending is actually the beginning of the chapter. So I'm just running over here, trigger something, go back. That's the entire chapter. So and because this chapter is like pretty slow, and we are actually pretty behind on schedule, I can help to bring it a little bit back.
So this thing is like this whole area is like an L-shape form, right? Or T-shape?
From the path that I'm going, yeah, it's like a T-shape, but it's more complex. It's like an entire maze down there, and we just skip the maze.
But we are going like the direct way, which was out of bounds. So
Yeah.
we are skipping a lot of running.
Yeah, there are now all the shamans. We helped them earlier, and they were gonna help us now.
And now, I just let this cutscene play for a little bit, and then deactivate the stone. Because now if I want to dash, I cannot dash. I wait until they're on their knees, and now I have my power back and can dash. Now there are 2 foxes, hey.
And there's our companion again.
Well, now I'm just running to the end of the chapter, and in chapter 8 it's like 30 seconds of running up a hill, and then the run is actually already over, which is a very good marathon run. Like this went much better than I thought, to be honest. It actually, from like watching like the RTA time, it's actually not far off my PB. Sadly, I don't have like an in-game timer, so I can't save it's a PB, but...
So when I got this, if I got this correctly, there was originally you found a way to go out of bounds here as well. Yeah, usually I have to stay on the slide path, but you can theoretically go out of bounds here as well and go to the path in a more direct way, but I think it doesn't really save time, right?
Yeah, like the cutscene is always playing, and if I'm like out of the ring that you've seen, the fox never appears, so this path never appears, but the door still opens after the cutscene. And I can then go out of bounds and go back the path, but just looking at the world record times and like the split times, this path is actually faster. For example, my first D-Rust run after I got accepted, I did it with like doing this path here the regular way, and instantly golded this chapter by like 20 seconds, which I was kind of surprised about. It actually saves so much. So yeah, while doing this thing, because we are pretty much at the end of the run, I can do my shoutouts right now to help to get the schedule a little bit back. Yeah, obviously, like a shout out to like the entire community, especially like the Japanese community. They completely broke the game in every way possible. It's crazy what they found. And also like someone like Neo and Concord, like the first runners, they also found like a lot of things. Especially they found stuff at the same time without talking to each other. So one of them was like, yeah, I found a skip, and the other one was, yeah, I also found it just right now. And they didn't communicate, so there are like a few skips where we actually have both names on the sheet, because they both found it basically at the same time. So, and as soon as
yeah, we just left like the temple, which
is time, and it's time. Oh, is it? Okay. That was an incredible good marathon run. Holy! If I look at the time.
What is your RTA PB?
It's something like a 48, like a mid 48 as well. I actually have to retime it. It might actually beat my PB by like a second or so. And I actually have to retime it because I don't have. We play with in-game times, so like all of the loads are removed.
Yeah. Isn't there a
marathon of PBs, man?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, as I said, I will retime it at some point today, maybe. So yeah, I think that was everything from me. I mean, obviously, shoutouts to like the entire Spirit of the North community. Thanks NSG for having us. Thanks for letting me show the run as like a filler. Anything you guys want to say as well?
Yeah, thanks for having us for a co-commentary as well. It was very fun to watch and to help out.
What does the fox say?
Also, shoutouts to Jutsokt here, who also found finding skips in a live session, like live Discord session.
Without even playing the game. That's like
without even playing the game himself.
I never played the game and I had an idea for a skip.
So like, as you can see, the creds aren't playing, by the way, because the creds are just playing if this fox decides to go up at some point. But
yeah, this is the typical, I wait 2 minutes for the cutscene to start,
basically.
But it's basically over at the last input that is required to make it happen.
So yeah, thanks again, and I think that's all.